Hi, everybody. Look at this. I'm relatively on time. It is 7 o'clock, 7:05 Bulgaria time, 5 p.m. GMT. Monday, starting strong, hitting the goal of live streaming at approximately 5 p.m. GMT. Welcome to my daily live stream about the location independent lifestyle. I'm Kristin if you're new here. And if you're not new, hi. If you are new, welcome. Let's open the chat here. See who's coming over today. Today, I wanted to talk about something that has come up as a theme over the past week, something that's really been on my mind that I keep noticing. It's like a recurring theme in my own life as a digital nomad and with my digital nomad friends. And that is learning to do what you want with your time and having giving yourself permission to live life on your own terms. And it sounds a bit cliche, but when you break it down into what you do on a day-to-day basis, it can be really important and it can have really profound effects and impact on your actual level of happiness. And this is a skill. I call it a skill because we're taught from a very young age to follow directions and that we have certain responsibilities every day, which is true. We do have responsibilities, we do have routines, we do have things that we need to do on a daily basis, but it is definitely a skill to be able to really be in tune with what makes you happy and what you want to do on a daily basis and then also on a long-term basis. And this is something that will serve you well in the kind of dynamic of the digital nomad lifestyle that can be quite undefined. So, hey guys, how's it going? So what do I mean by this? I guess working full-time in this capacity for so many years, I've become acutely aware of the opportunity cost of my time. And I've been really fortunate to be able to spend the majority of my time doing things that I want to do. And so this week, for example, a few of my friends were talking about how they regretted their decisions to kind of go along with groupthink or group consensus or obligation, like doing things out of a sense of obligation that I think everyone can relate to. Like this can be something like saying yes to an invitation to go somewhere when you really don't feel like going. And I know a lot of people can relate to this because I've seen all the memes on Instagram about people like not wanting to do things and not wanting to go to parties or not wanting to hang out with people, but doing it anyway, and just wanting like alone time and stuff like that. So it's like on one hand, it's about just being cognizant of when you're feeling obligated to participate in or go to things that you don't want to do and that aren't going to serve you and that aren't the best use of your time. And then, it's also about having some sort of like self-control, I guess. I mean, every day, like if you eat the donuts that people bring to work, like you're going to gain weight. So you have to like make decisions about even if something is available to you, good is the enemy of great. And a good option or a decent option with something that you can do every day at work and in your personal life can be detrimental to your optimal goal or your optimal way of spending your time. Hey, Pi, good morning to you. Good evening from Bulgaria. So I'm just talking about if you're not a digital nomad yet, but you want to be one, I think it's helpful to start getting comfortable with doing things that are maybe, I don't want to say like just outside of your comfort zone, but doing things that are something that you haven't done before. So if you're not a digital nomad yet and you want to become a digital nomad, you have to start doing things you haven't done yet, because if you just keep repeating the past, then things will continue as they are now. So if you want to change something, you have to start somewhere. And it can be a really good exercise this week to just kind of look at your schedule for the week, think about things that you're doing out of routine. Think about things that you're doing on autopilot that aren't super important, that you don't have to do. And think of just one thing that you can replace with something that's been on your list that you want to do or that you've wanted to do for a long time, or one better way that you could spend that time. So the obvious culprits are things like killing time on social media or something like that. So maybe you can replace that with a more structured time of watching YouTube videos on a topic that you're interested in learning about, for example, or reading a book about something new. Instead of accepting that happy hour invitation and like going and sitting with people and like drinking, maybe replace those that hour or two in your afternoon with something else that's more fulfilling personally to yourself. So because there's still not so many people living well, there's a lot of people who are working remotely, and there are a lot of people who are digital nomads, but it's still not completely mainstream. So until that happens, it's helpful to get comfortable with kind of going against the grain and doing things that maybe other people don't understand or don't approve of. So one of my friends went skiing this weekend in a different country, not in Bulgaria, and he was hanging out with friends that he was friends with like 10, 20 years ago. And he's like, like, I think we've grown apart. I think we have different priorities now. And he was just mulling over that decision and thinking, maybe I don't want to hang out with those people anymore. Maybe they're not challenging me to be like the best person I can be. And maybe next year I go with different people, or, it can be something as simple as that. In my case, and in another friend's case who I talked to, we gave up like a few hours of time, like 2 or 3 hours, to go and eat with people that like we didn't have the idea for that dinner. We just went to it because we felt obligated to go. And in my case, it ended up resulting in me not feeling well because I ate like bad food and not being able to finish a video that I was editing. And because I couldn't finish it that day, now I'm going to have to push it back to another day this week when I have free time. So is this making sense? Basically, it's just you become, when you have the ability to work where you want, live where you want, travel when and where you want, and pretty much spend your day how you want, you kind of have less patience for things that are going to waste your time or that you're not going to thoroughly enjoy. Of course, if it's something that you have to do and you don't want to, that's a totally other thing. Or it could be something you don't like doing for work, but you have to do it anyway, or you have to outsource it or something like that. But I'm talking more, or I'm referencing more about just practicing having confidence and like kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like just feeling confident in your decisions and not caring if people are like, oh, well, why aren't you coming to happy hour? You come every day or you come every week. And you're like, you know what? I can't come today. And you don't have to explain yourself, but just practicing, even if you're still in, maybe you're in a job that you don't like, or maybe you're in a city that you don't want to live in, or whatever it is, just practicing taking like a small step this week on protecting your time and protecting your energy and not letting it leak into things that aren't serving your highest good, basically. Pi, can you think of anything that you do on a weekly basis that maybe you've outgrown, or it's like not helping you anymore? Maybe it's people that you don't want to spend time with. Because life is precious. Like if you're not doing what you want to do, then you got to make some changes. Pi's having just basically has a great life in New Zealand farming, so life is good. I guess you have no complaints. That's fine. What else did I want to say? I don't know. I think like just in general, we don't notice because so many things do happen on autopilot and so many things are like societal consensus. Um, and so many people feel like they don't have time to do what they want. And a lot of that is true. They don't have time because they're spending X amount of hours at work, X amount of hours commuting, X amount of hours with their kids. Like there's so many responsibilities in modern day life. And in this digital nomad lifestyle, like it's not fair. And you guys know I've done videos and like written blog articles about all the hundreds and thousands of extra hours we have in the year because we eliminate a lot of those things. But even then, things still sort of like leach into our time. And I do sometimes still feel guilty when I say no to things. Kai's like, not really. Yeah, I enjoy most things because life is good over there. No, life is good. But even on, I guess it was Friday or Saturday, one night I went to, they were having a techno show here that was like really well done. It was with DJs from different countries and it was just out of nowhere. I just saw it. So I decided to go and nobody like wanted to go. Either they weren't interested or they didn't want to spend money on it. But I was like, well, I mean, you guys know I've been learning how to DJ and things. Not these months, but like October through December of last year. So I was like, I'm gonna go. Like, I need a break. I want to go dance. I want to listen to good music, and I don't care. So I bought my ticket. I went. I had so much fun. I met new people. I ran into friends that I met last year who I haven't seen since last summer. But one of the guys who I met just like was standing next to me on the dance floor. He's like, oh, who are you here with? And I was like, oh, just myself. And he was shocked because I'm so used to traveling by myself and I'm so used to going to stuff by myself as I want to go. Like, I don't care if it's the movies or a play or whatever. And he was like, oh, wow, like that's pretty gutsy that you came to this concert by yourself. And I was like, really? I didn't really think about it. But it's just another example of how I had an alternative for something I could have done that night. I could have gone to, they were having like a Valentine's Day party here with the co-working group. But I was like, I know that everyone's going to that party, but I want to listen to techno music and I want to go to this show. So I'm going. And like everybody else went to that party and I went by myself another way. And I was completely satisfied with my decision. Like, could not have been happier. And then, of course, the next day, everyone's like, oh, yeah, it was like the same people we hang out with every day. Like, of course it was. That's what I was expecting. Hey, Ahmed. Hi, Maurice. Maurice, so your name looks very familiar. Are we friends from Florida? Do I know you? Ahmed, is it only audio? Nope, it's video. Can you see me? Am I showing up? Hi, Emmanuel. Oh, greetings from Bosnia. Hello. I love Bosnia. Have you seen my my Bosnia video? Yeah, Maurice, I started learning to DJ. I took some classes in Amsterdam in October, and then I picked it back up when I was in Buenos Aires in December, which was a great idea because it was about 10% as expensive as it was in Amsterdam. But right now I'm not focusing on that because I'm writing a book on becoming a digital nomad. So my main focus, actually I was writing before I started live streaming, but I wanted to live stream on time today. So I took a break from writing, but yeah, I'm doing less projects this year, but completing all of them. And they're long projects, like each one will take a few months. So writing a book is taking a few months to do. I would like to do more DJing this year, but I haven't decided yet when, if I'm going to do it like 1 hour a week or something like that, when I have more room on my proverbial plate, or if I'm going to spend a big chunk of time learning it, like immersion, basically. So I think immersion is a really, really good way to learn a new skill fast. It's how I learned Spanish, by immersing myself in Costa Rica, living with a host family and taking Spanish classes every day, like 4 days a week for 3 months. So basically in 1 month in 2002, I learned Spanish, and I was like pretty much fluent in Spanish by the end of the 3rd month. Or compare that to taking a Spanish class in school 1 hour a week for 5 years during high school, you come out with nothing. So there is incremental, like you can definitely learn a skill dedicating a small amount of time every week to it. But I really like the results that I get, like instant gratification from immersion. And that's what I've been thinking about with DJing, is just like doing sprints of just one hour a day instead of like 1 hour every other week or something like that, so that it stays fresh in your mind. And I'm applying this to snowboarding as well. So I've been snowboarding for a few years now, and I need to learn to go switch dance down the mountain. And I have the option of doing like 1 or 2 runs per day going with my other foot in front, or I can spend like the whole day, a few days in the row, only riding switch dance. And I probably will become a lot more comfortable a lot faster if I do it that way. So that's like kind of my strategy this year. Pi likes being outside by himself or with the dog, not with any social media except this. Oh, high five. Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, just appreciating nature and the great outdoors with your dog. I mean, that sounds amazing. I think that's what so many, like when I think of kind of like the good old days, that's what I think about. It's just like being present out there in the world, in nature, without looking at our phones. Oh, Maurice from the Vegas Summit. I was like, yeah, how do I know you? Okay, I know, because you don't have a photo. Ahmed, I see now better than before. Oh, okay. Yeah, my internet went out a couple of times today for a few seconds during some phone calls. Okay, Pi, see you later. Enjoy the sunrise with your dog. Ahmed said, did you learn to DJ as a hobby? Oh, you did some immersion learning as well. I don't know if that's a thing, immersion learning. I just made it up. Fire cupping massage. What is that? I've had cupping done before, but fire cupping, is that where you light the cup on fire, or like a match? I have seen that with acupuncture too, actually. Yeah, I learned to DJ just as a hobby, but I would like to do live show someday. So it was really cool to go and see these DJs from Romania and Germany and Bulgaria, and I think one other country. So yeah, that's my lesson of the day. Or I don't know if I want to call it a lesson, but like my thought of the day was just thinking this week of how I overheard a few digital nomad colleagues, or talked with them on the phone or whatever, social media, about just chit chat, random things. And it came up how they were noticing how annoyed they were when they ended up spending their time doing things that weren't like a good fit for them, and how we've been able to like develop this awareness where we notice really quickly if we're doing something that's just not right for us to do. And I think that can work with business as well. The most successful businesses are sometimes the ones that are the first to market in a certain place or in a certain niche. And you have to go where no man or woman has gone before in order to do that. And that can be uncomfortable. And so there's like these little microcosms of big picture concepts and strategies for succeeding in life. And that is all broken down into deliberate thoughts and actions that you have or do every day. And so I just wanted to highlight that because it seemed important. Ahmed said, if you speak Spanish well, then I can master quickly French or Italian. Yeah, actually, I can read a lot in French and Italian and Portuguese, but I don't know many words and I haven't studied the grammar. But people got really bent out of shape on my Lisbon video because I was speaking to this guy in the end. There's some outtakes, and I was speaking to him in Spanish because Spanish is more similar to Portuguese than English, and I don't speak Portuguese. So even though I understood what he was saying in Portuguese, I could only respond in Spanish. So it's kind of like that. But that, I guess, knowing a Latin language definitely allows you to pick up on other ones. But it can also be harder because a lot of words in Portuguese are spelled the same, pronounced differently, or spelled the same and mean something different. So sometimes I think it could be easier to learn like German or something that's totally different to kind of switch out of that Spanish mentality. Oh, congrats on passing your French test. Yeah, learning languages it's great. It's something I wish that, I don't want to say I wish I had more time to do, but I guess it's not really a priority for me right now, but it's really fun and it's really a great brain exercise. I don't know if any other nerds out there do like those brain games, like Lumosity, or what is the other one? I have a couple apps on my phone, but there's so many benefits to learning languages and forcing yourself to think that way. And I think it also helps with just understanding of other people and other cultures and having cultural empathy and insights into how people communicate, because there's always slang and there's always tendencies that happen in certain languages that are unique to a country or a group of people. I know. Actually, I have a friend who speaks Mandarin and Arabic and Japanese. I think she speaks 8 languages, and she is short, blonde hair, maybe blue eyes. She doesn't look like she speaks Arabic or Mandarin or Japanese, but she does. And she actually recommended that I learn Arabic because she said it's really fun to speak a language and people have no idea, like they would never expect that you would understand. And I have been with her in places like Vegas and New York where we've been next to somebody speaking Arabic, and she like just pops in and into the conversation and says hi or says something, and they're like, what? Why is this little blonde girl speaking Arabic? So cool. Awesome, guys. All right, I'm going to get back to writing the book. Today's chapter is on freelancing. So I still have a lot of sources to look up and research to cite and things like that. But I'm going to finish that before I go to sleep. No, I don't speak Arabic or Russian. No. But I've considered it. Like, if you're going to spend time learning a new language, it might as well be one that you think would be useful, or either for a country that you're going to. Like, that's why I like speaking Spanish, because so many people speak it. So I can speak it in so many places. And Arabic is spoken in a lot of different countries. Or for business, like, Chinese. Whoops. Yeah, not easy at all. Definitely a good brain exercise. I think I'm at capacity right now. So much writing, so much reading, so much working, so much editing. My brain's like melted. All right, if I need any lessons, I'll let you know. Okay, guys, happy Monday. I hope this was a little piece of Monday motivation for you. And if you feel so inclined, let me know in a comment what you identified as something that you felt obligated to do this week or last week. You don't want to do it anymore. And what did you replace it with? Hopefully something enjoyable and or productive or both. And that's all for now. Oh, Tech Lords, just in time. I'm signing off. Okay, guys, see you tomorrow. We'll try to keep it at the same time. So working on that consistency. All right, guys. Yeah, have a great day. Keep up the great work and have a good Monday. Hasta mañana. Ciao.